I'm Anil Kumar, and based on the method we just learned, how to solve quadratic equations using completing squares, we have an application question here. The question is, displacement equation as a function of initial velocity u, time t, and acceleration a is given by d equals to ut plus half at square. Find t for d equals to 30 meters, u equals to 1 meter per second, and a equals to 6 meters per second square. Let me also make this a multiple choice question. So I'll give you 4 options here. So we're trying to find t. So t could be 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, or 4 second, right? 4 second. So these are your options. Let me add one more. I'm not very sure what we are going to get. So let me put this as none of the above. Okay. So that is your multiple choice question now. I'd like you to pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestion. What I didn't write here is to use complete square methods. You could do with factoring and quadratic formula, but I want you to use completing the squares as practice. So let's begin by writing the equation, which is d equals to ut plus half at square, right? So we are given most of the values. D is 30, u is 1, so we are left with t, plus half a is 6, so 6 and t square. So as you can see, we have two terms with t, right? So half of 6 is 3. Let me rewrite this as 3t square plus t. Okay. So what you need to do here is you have to add square of half of t both sides and then work it out. Now to avoid fractions, but before that we have to divide by 3 also, right? So we have to divide by 3 also. So if I divide by 3, I get 10 equals to t square plus 1 over 3t. Is it okay? So in this step, we divided by 3. So everything divided by 3, the whole equation. The idea is to get leading coefficient as 1. Okay. Now the next step is add half of this. So we have t square plus 1 over 3t plus half of 1 over 3 is 1 over 6, right? Square of that. So we have 10 plus 1 over 6 whole square. Okay. The right side becomes a perfect square, which is t plus 1 over 6. The left side is a fraction. Let's try to figure this out. 10 plus 1 over 36, which is 36 is common denominator, 361. Okay, so 360 plus 1. Is it okay? So 361. Okay. So you might need calculator for this particular question. Anyway, let us see. So what we have here is, let me rewrite, t plus 1 over 6 whole square equals to, so this was 360 plus 1, okay? This is like kind of 1. So we took 36 as the common denominator. So 361 over 36. Now 440 is 400 square, 19 probably is square root of 361. So we'll do square root both sides. So we get t plus 1 over 6 equals to plus minus square root of 361 over 36. Correct. So we get t plus 1 over 6 equals to plus minus, and this is 19. So you could just 20 minus 1 whole square, 400, right? So you can use calculator. Okay. So square root of 361 is 19, right? So 19 over 6. So what is t equals to? T equals to, when we take it on this side, minus 1 over 6 plus minus 19 over 6. Is it okay? Now that gives you two answers. One will be so minus 1 from 19. So 1 could be, so t equals to, so if you take away 1 from minus 19, you get minus 20 over 6. And the other values, when you add 19, so 19 minus 1 is 18, 18 over 6. Now, since we are talking about real life situation, that is not valid, right? So we ignore it, not valid. Let me write that t is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, that makes it simpler. So 18 divided by 6 is 3, so 3 seconds. So that is option C for us, right? So I knew we are working with simple values so that we get perfect square roots. That may not be your case most of the time, okay? But in some tests where calculator is not allowed, you will come across such values. I hope that really helps and you appreciate what I've done. Feel free to post your questions, suggestions so that we can improve on our videos and give you a better variety. Thank you and all the best.